Hi, welcome to this edition of Renovation Time. While we're back at the kitchen renovation, I'm going to show you a couple ideas that we did in here. So if you have an old farmhouse and you want to redo the kitchen or the bathroom or any of the rooms in the home and you don't know where to start, I don't blame you because there's a lot of work in an old farmhouse. But a couple things to keep in mind. One is in this room was originally old plaster. So, you know, it's cracked, it's dried out, a lot of it's horsehair. So to take that all down sometimes is a good idea, but in other cases you can actually leave it on the wall and just make sure it's good and secure to the studs. So how do you actually finish it so it looks good? So let's say it's really old and you know, you look at it and think, oh my God, I'm going to spend $100 in mud to fix it and it's still not going to look great. Well, in this case, what we did is we actually had enough room with our casing to put 3/8 drywall over top of the existing plaster. So we have the existing plaster in behind. Then we added the 3/8 drywall. So it's a little thinner than the conventional 1/2-inch drywall. And we screwed it to the existing plaster. And the great thing about this, with the old homes and the way that they were trimmed and the thickness of the trims back then, we were still allowed an area. So this is the original casing. So we didn't have to take this off, which is another big thing because we wanted to keep with the integrity of what was here. We didn't want, and you start pulling this off because of the age of it, it's going to dry, it's going to crack, and it's going to be really hard to get off without damaging it. So we left all the old trim on the home, put the 3/8 on, and we still have a reveal, which you can see here. So we have our wall, our new 3/8 drywall, and our existing casing, and we still have a reveal. So sometimes it won't work because what happens is you end up with your drywall out past the trim. But if you're in an old farmhouse, and again, I showed you this last week, but when your trim is that thick, you know, it's nice to have. So that's one thing. New construction, you're probably not going to get anything near that way unless people spend a lot of money to do it. But in this case, we were lucky enough to be able to do that. So if you have an old farmhouse and you're thinking about it, check the depth of your casing. See if it actually comes out further than a 3/8. You don't want to go to quarter or something like that, but definitely 3/8 is a good way to go. And sometimes you can even do 1/2-inch, but in this case, 3/8 was perfect. Second thing, again, it's a farmhouse. The floors aren't completely level, and that's just the way they are. And in this case, basically, it's the same way where the floors are on, everything's settled and it's fine now. So what do you do? So when your kitchen cabinets go in, again, you have to have a level line. So your cabinets have to be level, but you basically build from the level line down. But we left the floor, we didn't get into leveling it up because once you do that in this type of application, you're going to be up fairly high and then you're going into other areas and it wouldn't work out very well. So the best thing to do is basically leave the floor, which we did. We took up all the old floor, but this is 3/8 ply. And so what we're doing is we're putting a new Target vinyl flooring down here. So it's going to be very warm, very soft, and it's basically going to have one seam through it, the whole area, because we're going down the hall too. But we use 3/8 ply as our subfloor. So we have our original subfloor that was original to the home, and then we put our 3/8 ply. But the biggest thing when you're doing this is, again, there was a lot of squeaks in the floor, and you still will have squeaks over time, but make sure you put enough screws. So it takes a long time to screw a floor down properly, but you can never have enough. So make sure you're going right into the existing subfloor and in some cases into the joist. So now when I walk in here, there's not a lot of squeaks. It's a very sound floor and it's very strong, and then we'll come in and float it all and get it ready for vinyl. So hopefully that'll help you when you're doing your big farmhouse renovation. But until next time, be safe and have fun.
Renovation Time is brought to you by Anden Kitchen and Bath Center. Come talk to the people who know kitchens and bathrooms. Anden Kitchen and Bath Center.